What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the dive bar. I missed you guys last week. I hope you missed me. If not, I don't really care. But actually, I do care. I lied. I do care. I do care. Bobby, Joe, how we doing? How we feeling?
I got to be honest with you. Not only does Eric care, every time somebody in the chat goes, "Where's Eric?" it just fills his heart with joy.
Immense joy.
Nothing makes you happier, lad.
To be fair, you're 100% right.
He'll always hit us up the next day. Did you see user 279 go, man, I miss Eric, or where's Eric? We're like, yeah, well, you were missing. That's an obvious question.
Hey, it ended up working out. My softball league, team is back, but it's raining and cold down here in South Florida. I know we're not dealing with the snow, but it's kind of shitty weather. But game was canceled. The Average Bros couldn't take the field today, so I'm back. It worked out. I'm pumped to be
By the
here.
way, shout out to the Average Bros.
We're so below average. It's so great, but we have really fire jerseys though, and we drink a lot of beer, but above average. So
That's
But
all softball really matters. So
yeah, exactly. But guys, we got a really special guest for you guys. We got Craig LeBlanc here with us. He decided he was down to chop it up here at the dive bar, so he's pulling up a chair. So if you guys are good with it, let's get it going. Yeah.
Let's do it, boys.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now. Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. Off the block. Two on the move. Going deep. Speedways. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Yeah. I like it. Hey, scoot over, okay?
Craig, what's good, my man?
Fellas, how are you? What a pleasure to be at the dive bar, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think just to get things started. I mean, I met you through Eric Izukama. So you were training him when he was coming out the draft, or working with him a little bit, throwing with him. And I met you through Twitter, I think. And then, we kind of talked back and forth ever since. But for those that don't know you, kind of like, what do you do? How'd you get to where you are? Kind of give them a little background about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, I like to attribute it to God, man. I started throwing for some guys a while ago. I've been playing football my whole life. I walked away from the game after my first year at college and kind of went away from it for a while, and then God brought me back. And about 6 years ago, I guess, I was throwing for some guys here in DFW, and Dez Bryant pulled up to one of our sessions. I started throwing for Dez, and him and I hit it off. We had a lot of things to talk about, especially on the mental health side of things. And we just kind of became really good friends. And we started working together pretty much every day. And from that, we started doing one-on-ones at SMU. That's kind of how we built the brand of Two Live. We were doing the Two Live late night crew. So we had a lot of kids, four stars, 5 stars, college kid, pro guys, all at SMU running one-on-ones. It was incredible, and the energy was just so crazy. So that's where the name Two Live came from. One day I think it was like the first session or second session, and the energy was just wild. I mean, dudes were strapping each other, dudes were arguing, getting in, it was heated, and felt like the roof was going to blow off the building. So I think somebody was like, man, this thing's too live. Or somebody said, this thing's live. And I was like, man, this shit's too live. And then that was kind of how it became Two Live. And it was a Friday night, late at night. So we became the Two Live late night crew. And obviously it's evolved over time. I train a lot of quarterbacks and receivers here in the area. I throw for a lot of guys, a lot of the best wide receivers in the game. Had the opportunity to throw for guys like obviously Dez and CeeDee. Got to throw for Jamar Chase and guys like that. Breece Hall, Zeke, all of them. So had a lot of opportunities to really just make an impact and use my platform for good. It's all about God, and God's been doing incredible things in my life, and so I try to just spread that to the guys that we're around. And I try to take care of people, man. And the thing about it is, I pray every day for open doors and opportunities. That's the one thing that I pray for every day. And lo and behold, man, every day God does something incredible in my life, opens a door, provides an opportunity. Matter of fact, today I was at Sports Academy in Frisco, checking in on one of our pre-draft clients, Kendall Paul, out of Texas A&M Commerce, who's going to be an absolute draft sleeper. You guys may know of a dude named Cater Kohu.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were
you stole
teammates.
Bobby's
Little bit.
shine, Craig. Craig, you
Yeah,
stole Bobby. He was
sorry,
gonna bring it
Bobby.
up. He was
No,
gonna
it's
steal
all
it.
good. As long as it gets
Yeah,
talked about is all that matters.
Bobby's eyes
yeah,
lit up. He's like, "Ooh, I got something."
yeah. So Cater and KP played together. I think KP's maybe a little bit faster, but they play very similar. You know, two guys that are extremely quick, extremely explosive, guys that love to hit. KP's like that. I think Cater's a little bit bigger than KP, but I think KP's a little bit faster. So we were up there, and Isaiah Bond was like, "Hey, man, can you throw me some balls?" And ended up throwing for him and Kyron Lacey. And Isaiah was like, "Man, you're gonna be up here every day because I need you to throw to me every day." So, you know, again, just an opportunity that God put on my heart and blessed us with, and just an opportunity to be of value to people. You know, I believe that God put me on earth to be an asset, be a resource, and be a light. And so, anytime that opportunity exists, I try to attack it with everything that I can, relentless about it. And yeah, that's the story of who I am and where we came from, and we're here.
My brother, you say opportunity, and I feel like every day, every person on the earth, we have an opportunity to do something great, right?
Yeah,
But not everybody actually takes the step forward and does the features the greatness, right?
yeah, yeah.
Now, you could have just sat back, threw some balls to some guys, coordinated 7-on-7s, but you went further. All right. I want you to elaborate. I know you started an agency, and I think the concept of it is super cool. I'd rather you elaborate on it than me because I'm terrible with words. Fancy that I have a podcast. No, but seriously, can you please elaborate? So just so everybody knows, Craig also has an agency for NFL guys, and I just
Yep.
want to kind of explain how that came about.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I've been throwing for a lot of guys, and we were, you know, I've been around a lot of agents, and obviously, you know, I've built a brand, and that's something that obviously I'm proud of, and it's something that's important to me. And so, what comes with that, you know, is a lot of agents started reaching out to me and wanting me to introduce them to certain guys and things like that. Which I, you know, at the beginning of it, I was all for because I felt like I was helping people. And then there were a couple instances where some agents kind of took advantage of me and took advantage of some of the people that I'm close to, which bothered me. And it just got to the point where I started to feel like I couldn't trust anybody that was an agent. And there was one guy in particular, tight end named Jared Scott, who had just been released by the Carolina Panthers probably a month or so earlier. And he had come to me, and we were throwing. Matter of fact, we were right outside here at South Lake Carroll High School. And he's like, "Man,
South
I
Lake.
need to get a new agent. Like, my agent's just not really like trying to get me any opportunities and this and that." And I'm like, "All right, well, let me reach out to some people. Let me see what I can get you." Now, again, this dude had just left an NFL team. And so I reached out to one of the guys that I thought, you know, I trusted pretty well. And he basically went to, you know, some scouts and looked at stats. And he was like, "Man, you know, everybody I talked to said he's probably going to be like a practice squad guy. I'm going to have to pass." And it bothered me because I'm like, well, dude, this dude's 6'5", 260, running a 4.4, can catch, has a big catch radius, can block, like he can do it all. He's a big dude. He's fast. What are you looking at? And so that was kind of like the final straw. And I told him, I'm like, "Look, man, basically nobody's really interested. So you know, I can only do so much. I'm not an agent. I can jump on tables, but at the end of the day, like I can't really help you if no agent's gonna help us." And he was like, "Well, man, my brother is an attorney, and he wanted to be my agent, but he didn't really know anybody in the football world. You know, he played college football at Missouri, so he's got a football background, but he's just been away from the game for a while." And he was like, maybe I should just introduce you guys, let y'all go have lunch or dinner or whatever and see what comes of it. So, obviously, again, I pray for open doors and opportunities every day. So I'm like, all right, well, this is God presenting an opportunity. Let me at least go see what it's about. So we sat down, had dinner. We really hit it off. And, we were aligned, because he was in a situation where he couldn't help his brother. And I was in a situation where I couldn't help the people that I care about, that I get to put in work with on a daily basis. And so it just really made sense for us to try and go for it. So he ended up registering for the exam in October 1st, 2024. Was that 4 months ago? He became a certified NFLPA agent. So we launched the agency. About a month later, I got matter of fact, I was on my way to Wisconsin. I was on my way to Wisconsin for the Wisconsin-Oregon game to go watch Evan Stewart, one of our guys, and probably one of my best friends in the world. And I get this tape from a guy named Josh Hicks. You may know him, 300 Fitness. He's one of the world's renowned running back trainers. That dude has probably trained every dominant running back in the game. And he was like, man, I need you to take care of this kid. You're the only dude that I know that could take care of this kid. And I was like, all right. So I'm driving to the airport, and I'm kind of like glancing at the tape, and I'm like, oh, this kid seems pretty good. But I didn't really like watch it, right? So I was kind of like half in, half out because I'm driving, obviously. So I get to Wisconsin. Evan and I land in Wisconsin. We go to the game with Evan's dad, Evan Stewart's dad. And we get back to the hotel that night, and Hicks calls me. Now, I know Hicks. Hicks goes to bed at like 8:30 at night, and it's like 11 o'clock. And I'm going, what is Hicks doing FaceTiming me? It's like way past his bedtime. And so he pops up, and he's like, did you watch that tape? And I'm like, maybe. I mean, maybe I didn't watch it like good enough. Like, you're calling me and it's past your bedtime. Like, he's like, bro, you got to watch it. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and watch it now while you're on the phone. So we got him on FaceTime, and I pull up the tape again. And this time I'm like, okay, I'm going to be intentional, and I'm really going to watch it. First play, I'm like, okay, he's fast. I see it. The second play, he's about 12 yards off the ball, playing safety. And they had like a receiver coming in motion, and they basically ran like a little underneath screen. So quarterback gets him the ball. He kind of bobbled it a little bit, but KP came from 12 yards away. By the time dude caught the ball and took one step, he's getting smacked. Bop! And I was like, whoa, what was that? And right off the bat, I'm like, oh, I missed that earlier. What? He's like, keep watching. So I watched the next play. Man to man, got a guy going down the boundary on a go ball. KP's in his hip, breaks the ball up, plays through his hands, and he's, I'm like, damn, okay. Next play, he's in the slot playing Nick. Back pedals, comes out of his break. I'm talking about shot out like a rocket out of his break. And I was like, oh my God, Hicks, what? And he's like, I told you, I know you didn't watch it. And I was like, you're right, I guess I didn't. Because now I'm looking at it and, Jesus, who is this? And so, matter of fact, we called KP right then and there. It was like probably midnight by then. And he picks up the phone, and Hicks was like, hey, I want you to meet Craig. And I'm like, dude, you can flat out ball. Like, I would love to sign you for us. I would love to go jump on tables for you. I feel like you got a lot of talent. You're somebody that I would love to have represent 2 Live and what we bring. Like, I believe rising tides raise all ships, and we want you in the harbor. We think we can raise you up. And he was like, okay, cool. So about 2 weeks later, we ended up inking him, and we signed him up. He's the first official client for 2 Live Culture, the agency.
Congrats,
And,
by the way.
Thank you.
Amazing,
It's been incredible. It's been incredible. Rookie agency, rookie agent. There's not a lot of expectation there, but we've got another 2 more guys that we're going to sign. One of them has his SRA, so he should be signing it either today or tomorrow. Loic Fungi he started at Texas Tech and is now at Vanderbilt. Funny story about that. We had done some camps together before I even decided that I wanted to have an agency. And I remember looking at him like, damn, this kid's different. Like, he's built the part, looks the part, can run routes, great hands. And he was at the Tropical Bowl this weekend, and I was down there. And so, I'm in the room talking to scouts left and right, like, hey, I need you to look at this tape real quick. And I'm pitching everybody on KP, like, hey, watch this tape. If after 30 seconds you don't like what you see, I'll get out of your hair. And every scout in there was like, whoa, who is it? Can you send me this? I'm like, absolutely, I got you. So obviously KP's on a few boards, and Loic was like, damn, man, like, you know all these scouts? I was like, nah, but they know me now. Like, I got to make sure they know who my people are. So I'm going to jump on tables. And then the next day when they were at practice, I'm standing there watching Loic, and I'm standing next to the Cowboy Scouts. And one of them kind of looks at me and is like, damn, that kid looks the part, doesn't he? I'm like, yeah, wait till you see him run routes. And then right off the jump, I think he had it was either a curl or no, he ran a dig. He speed cut it, and he came flying out of that thing, like flying out of it. Makes a big catch across the middle, big long arms. Catch radius is crazy. And he kind of looked at me. I'm like, yeah, that dude can go. And so he was like, man, we're interested in him. And I was like, hey, I know him. I can set up an interview for him if he wants. So he was like, yeah. Let it, find me after, and we'd love to talk to him. So he ended up talking to the Cowboys, talking to a bunch of other scouts as well. But man, it's just it's been a blessing. Like I said, nothing but God, and God's been opening a lot of doors for us and providing a lot of opportunities for us. So I understand my mission. It's to continue to be a blessing to others, and that's all I'm here to do.
There was a story. I read it earlier. I believe you were training a kid. He was 10 years old, and you were like, "This kid's gonna be a stud. Like this kid's gonna be the real deal." And I believe you were saying that also for the young kids, the kids that you work with from 10, 8 years old, all the way till through high school, those are the kind of kids that you want on your team as well, because they know at the bottom of all facts, you have their back.
Absolutely, yeah. You're probably talking about my eighth grader, Logan Lucero.
Oh yes, there it is.
Logan Lucero, yeah, he's out of Highland Park. He'll be going to Parish High School, Parish Episcopal High School for the next 4 years. He's going to come in and start as a freshman and play all 4 years there. That kid, unbelievable. One of the best I've ever seen. I've got high school and college quarterbacks that don't spin the ball the way he does. He's 6'1", 195, and he's 14 years old.
It's like insane. When did you
Unbelievable.
start training him?
He's going into his 7th grade year, as a matter of
Okay.
fact. So it's been about 3 years. He'll be a freshman this year, so it's been about 3 years. And man, he's an incredible kid. The funny thing about that is the first time I trained him, I'll never forget it. I drove down to Highland Park, we trained, and then it's about a 45-minute drive. By the time I got back to my house, he had already sent me 12 videos of himself in the backyard working on what I had taught him in a 45-minute span. So this kid went straight home and went right back to the lab. And at that moment, I'm like, this kid's got it. This kid's different.
You're
He's
talking
going
like
to
a
be
10,
somebody.
11-year-old, right? Like,
Yeah, he was
7th grade, so
11.
probably
He was 11.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
he was
like,
11
could you
going on
imagine
12.
being that intense and that intent at that age, bro? Like,
No. I was completely lost at 10, 11, 12. I think the only thing I cared about
I
was
just wanted to play
girls,
games.
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
girls.
No, I just wanted to play on Saturdays. Like, I didn't want
Yeah,
to go to practice. Like every time
right.
every practice, I'd like pray that it rained and thundered. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man. And then
Yeah.
in South Florida, every day
Yep.
it rains at 5 and practice at 6. So every day we're looking at the sky at 5 o'clock, going, man,
Come
maybe it'll
on.
stay around long enough.
And for those that don't
Yeah.
realize, like him starting as a freshman, Highland Park is like no joke. This is Texas. This is Dallas. Like
Yeah.
that's where Matt Stafford comes
Hey, by the way,
from.
that's why the yeehaw hat today, a little
Yep.
Texas vibes.
Yep. Well,
So
he's
yeah,
not going to be. Well, I don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't say it. He's not going to go to Highland Park. He's at Highland Park Middle School. Hopefully nobody's watching that sees this, but he'll be at Parish Episcopal.
We promise nobody from there is watching.
Yeah, that would be
I
a
think.
really
Yeah, I think he may have already told some people, but I know they're going to be Highland Park is going to hate the kid when he leaves because he's kind of the heir apparent. And we work with Buck Randall. Buck Randall is the guy there now. And that's kind of why he decided to go off to Parish, because Buck is the first sophomore to start at Highland Park since Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
So
wow.
he'll start as a sophomore and then junior, senior. So Logan wouldn't get an opportunity until his junior year if he stayed at Highland Park. So really, it's just about the opportunity for him to go get ready now. There are a couple colleges that are going to offer him within the next couple of months. Pretty big colleges. One of them may have been in the college football playoff. So that's how impressive this kid is. I mean, he wakes up, TJ, he wakes up at 5 a.m. to watch film every day religiously. His dad's a coach. His dad's 6'4", his mom's 6 foot. He's got a 10-year-old brother who's 6 foot, 180 pounds, and he's 10. Yeah, I mean they're
How are they feeding these kids in Texas? What's going
well,
on?
they're a football family, man. Like they breathe football. I mean, this kid's in the lab every day. He's always sending me videos. He sent me one like an hour ago, as a matter of fact, of him in the lab throwing, and he's obsessed. He's obsessed with his craft. And knowing what I know, like that's what it takes. Like the guys that are truly obsessed with their craft are the ones that become the best in the world. You think about Kobe and the way he approached the game as a basketball player. I mean, it's the same thing. It's if you're that obsessed with your craft and you want to understand what your weaknesses are so you can strengthen them, and you're trying to find every little piece of your game to make better, the deeper you dive into the details and the better you make those details, the greater the outcome is going to be. So it's just, he understands that, and it's built in him. And he actually had a girlfriend this year for I think it was like a week and a half. And I went to one of his games, and he's a handsome kid. He's a good-looking kid. So there's a lot of there was a lot of girls that were after him, and
Handsome kid with a rocket arm. Tough
yeah,
life.
yeah. I mean, he's the part. Like I watched him before the games. I would always kind of go early, and he wanted me to go out there and watch him warm up and stuff, make sure I tweaked his mechanics or whatever. But he was just like, you would see him. He would come into the stands, and he would talk to all the parents, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he's making all the parents laugh and smile, and they all love him. Like he's charming, he's charismatic, he's smart, he's a leader. He's a dog. Like he's just somebody that, if I was a GM of an NFL team, I would already be looking at this kid like, damn, this might be my number one overall pick. Like this kid really has everything. Like there's nothing about him that doesn't say superstar. He's marketable. He's an incredible kid. So I'm excited to see where he continues to go, and I'm excited for his freshman year of varsity football. It's going to be fun to watch. He's got a dog at receiver too, a Jalen Pyle, Michigan commit, who is going into his junior year, I believe. And those two together are going to be very spectacular. So I highly recommend you guys get out here for a parish game. I'll be at just about every one of them. So kid's special.
Hey, you fuck around and find out Bobby's gonna be on a flight. Don't
Bobby's
play
close.
around.
Hey, look, the invite's there. Come on out. Come on out.
Hey,
Bob.
it's all fun and
Matter of
games
fact,
until Bob gets
Joe,
in the car.
if you come, you better bring me some of that whiskey. If you come, you better bring me some of that whiskey, Joe.
Hey, I got you.
I got you, brother.
So you said maybe a team that's in the college football playoffs. You don't have to answer, but knowing you, my guess would be SMU.
That was
Pony
my
up,
guess
baby.
as well.
Maybe.
Well, let's talk about another SMU quarterback that you've worked
Yes,
with, Kevin
Bobby.
Jennings.
My dog, Kev. Yes.
The world's about to find out.
I told you. I tried to
For the
tell, man.
gambling people out there,
I tried to tell
people
him.
out there next year, Heisman.
Heisman, 100%. I don't understand how he didn't get any Heisman love this year. Well, I guess he did until towards the end, but it's just one of those things. Like the kid's a proven winner. I mean, he won back-to-back state championships in high school in the state of Texas, in one of the biggest divisions there is. He's a kid that if you watch his game, he's almost like a mixture of like the old Mike Vick and the Lamar Jackson now. Like just a dude that can do it all. He can run if he needs to. He can extend plays. He can get outside the pocket. He can make reads. He's got a big arm. So if you've got a receiver that likes to stretch the field and here you go, turbo set. If you've got a guy that can stretch the field, he's going to get the ball downfield to him. And that was kind of one of the things that we struggled with at Oregon. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but you got a guy like Evan Stewart. You got to have a quarterback that can get the ball downfield. Like, there's no reason that Evan Stewart should be running 40 yards downfield. Stop, Dusty, please. He wants me to throw him the ball. Here, I got
Throw him the ball real quick.
Yeah, he's got to run a route.
There you go. Good catch. Go score. Run all the way to the paint. Here we go. Get him out of here for a second.
Yeah.
When you got a guy like Evan that's getting downfield and getting downfield quick, you got to make sure you got somebody that can get him the ball. There was some frustrating times for us where, I know against Ohio State, there was a couple balls that should have been, 10, 20 yards deeper that he had to come back on. And, DB ends up making a play. And it's like, well, what are we doing? We either get the ball out earlier if you can't get it out that far, or get the ball out further. So that was kind of frustrating. And, we'll see how it goes. Year 2 at Oregon should be better with Dante at quarterback. So I'm excited to see how Eastu does there. Obviously, he's, like I said, one of my best friends, and I believe in him. I've been throwing for him, I guess, since his 8th grade year. So somebody
That's
that I really
crazy.
care about, and somebody that has first round talent. Everybody that we talked to prior to this year was like, yeah, we got Evan going first round, and obviously he didn't get the ball as much as he should have. But they had an idea for what they wanted to do, and it just wasn't what they told us. So,
When I
college
realized
football.
that not just you, but all trainers are the same, and these guys can relate, because our boy Nick Hicks, like, y'all all talk the same. I'll never forget, you were on a podcast and he was like, yeah, Oregon beat Ohio State this week. And you were like, yeah, it was a bad week. And they were like, wait, y'all beat the number 1 team in the country. He was like, yeah, I know. I'm not a fan. I got my guys, and like, it was a bad week for us. That's how I look at it. And I was like,
yeah,
damn,
that
okay.
was the Penn State game for us. I get all the way out to Indianapolis, spend money that I needed for my family and things like that, and we're expecting a big opportunity for him to show what he's got going into the college football playoff, and then he gets one target in the 4th quarter, and it was he had a go ball down the boundary, and the ball's 20 yards behind him in the dirt, and that was the one target that he got. So it can be frustrating, and people are always like, oh, well, who's your team? I don't have a team. There are guys that I have relationships with, that I've put my time and effort in, like, especially with Evan. I've probably thrown him 100,000 footballs in the last 5-6 years, and like, to the point
2
where
Tommy John surgeries later.
my damn arm hurts. Like, come on, man. Like, I put a lot of work into this. Like, I want to see my dog eat. We've been working on that for a long time, and after his freshman year, the knock was that he wasn't a consistent catcher, which, yes, he was. But anyways, the one problem he had is they ran a lot of screens at A&M with him, and he would just get his eyes downfield before he had the ball in his hand. So we worked on that. Matter of fact, right out here at this field right here, hours and hours and hours. I'm throwing screen after screen after screen after screen, to the point where when I got home, I had to ice my arm, and like, it was before I knew about the Bimini like that. And so my arm felt like it was going to fall off, but it was just, it takes what it takes. And
screen passes are still 30, 40-yard passes. Like,
yeah, they can be. Yeah, can be.
like,
Definitely can
if
be.
you're far hash, you know what I mean? Like, it's still, you're still putting a little bit of thread on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's it's an unnatural motion. Our body's not really supposed to move that way, especially with weight. So throwing takes a toll on your body, period. So it's one of those things. Like, I care about the people who I invest my time into. And there are a lot of guys that I just care about, because we've had a relationship for a long time, and they trust me and I trust them, and I've tried to add value to them as much as I can. And especially for Evan, like, I think I went to 9 or 10 Oregon games this year. Because, like I said, he's one of my best friends, and somebody that I've put a lot of time and effort into, and so I want to be there to support him, and really just make sure that he's got everything that he needs to be successful.
I kind of want to transition this, because a lot of people, obviously we're Dolphin fans, right? So naturally we're going to kind of bring some sort of Dolphin relevance into this.
Yeah.
And really what I want to ask is, because everybody complains about Tua's arm, his arm strength, and you were just complaining about an Oregon arm strength, right? And
Dylan Gabriel.
obviously
Bobby,
we have a
come
guy
on.
like Tyreek Hill who likes to go, on top of the defense. Just kind of wanted your thoughts as a trainer on the whole situation that the Dolphins are in right now. Like, what do you see as the issue? What's like, and it's not issue, right? We're still a good team, but it's taking that next step into being a champion, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to know if it's something that we're lacking, or for just from your perspective.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't really get to pay a lot of attention to the Dolphins, other than you guys got a couple of my guys. Taj Washington is one of our guys too, somebody that I care for.
I'm excited to see him, by the way.
Yeah,
He's
little
a
red shirt
dog.
year.
He is a dog. I don't know if y'all saw, but I had a video, I think, that went pretty viral, of him running a route at SMU when we were doing the one-on-ones, and he absolutely cooked this dude on the comeback. It was just nasty. But he had a phenomenal senior year at USC, somebody that's just really, really special. So you guys definitely got a dog there. And then obviously Easy. Easy's been my guy since he was in college. And matter of fact, I think before he went to college, before he went to Tech, he went to a school here in Louisville and played 7-on-7 against me. So I had to deal with him on the other side, which kind of frustrated me. But he's got a little brother, Dozy, who's a stud. He's at TCU.
Yep.
So, there's dogs. But to your point, like, I think that to be honest, I thought the Dolphins were going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch. I mean, all that speed. Obviously, losing Braxton was a big one. He's a Carroll product, as a matter of fact, Southlake guy. And his little brother, Jackson Berrios, is a stud. He's a state champion in track, one of the fastest kids in the state. So
wow.
Jackson's going to be special too. But it's really just one of those things. Like obviously Tua with all the concussions, I'm not sure how much of that affected what he does, and kind of just from a mental standpoint, like his processing speed. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it. Possible, but I'm not a neurosurgeon by any means. But I have had a lot of concussions, and I know that it does tend to slow your processing speed a little bit. So I'm not sure if that contributed to his decline in performance. If you've got guys like Tyreek that are flying down the field and Jalen that are flying down the field, I mean, you got to have a guy that can get the ball out there, and if you got a quarterback that can't get the ball down the field, you can't really utilize those weapons the way that you want to. Much like the case at Oregon with Evan, you've got so much speed. And as a quarterback, like, you've got to be able to get the ball downfield. And if not, you got to understand, you got to get it out earlier to try and get them before they get to that point where they outrun your arm. And so, it's kind of one of those things. Like, I'm not sure if the solution is a big arm guy, maybe, maybe it's a scheme thing. I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't watch a lot of Dolphins film this year. I spent a lot of my time, obviously with Oregon and the Ravens and a couple other teams. So spent a lot of time with them and didn't get as much Dolphins work as I'd like. But obviously Cater's one of those that we've been really paying attention to, and he's been very successful for you guys. So I'm excited to see him continue to grow and continue to ball and continue to contribute to you guys.
Yeah.
I know it was a really long answer, but.
No, but I think
sense.
that kind of an elaborate answer is kind of warranted because there's a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of questions on Easy too. Have you spoke to him? Are you guys still working out? Like, what's the deal with that?
We talk pretty often. I haven't been down there. Obviously, I haven't been down to Miami in a while. I've been, trying to build an agency and the training and the high school recruiting and all that stuff. So I've been extremely busy. And hopefully I'll get down there, especially with Taj being there as well. I hope to get down there quite a bit and get back to work with Easy. But I think he's at Bomarito's down at Pete's place.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'll be down there this summer. So we'll probably see each other and get some work.
And let's link up when you're down here, by the way.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Maybe come into the dive bar for real.
Yeah, for real. I'll bring you to some fire wings, some nice chicken wings.
Love wings.
Well, so
Don't get me started on food because the boys know.
we're not gonna do food. We're not gonna do food right now.
Look, I love to eat. So Joe, I'm coming to hang out with you.
All right,
Yeah,
bet.
He's
got
definitely your
you.
guy for that.
He's got you covered. Don't worry. He's got
So
you.
we got the conference championships coming up. A couple guys you're familiar with in KC, Pat Mahomes and Kelce. You've worked with them. We all know who they are. What kind of separates those guys when they're working like that in the off season? Like that, you're just like, yeah, that's why who they are.
Mindset. It's all mindset. Patrick, just watching the way he operates. I was kind of more of a fly on the wall. Sorry, my child is trying to stop it. Dossie, here, go run some routes, bro.
A cameo.
Yeah, you want? Hey, you want to say hi? Come here real quick.
Yeah, he's got to say hi.
Yeah. He's been
The boy.
Come on. Here we go. There he is.
Oh, look at the
There he
stud.
is. Say what's up, everybody. Tell him, Too Live, we're here. Tell him. He don't want to say it.
He just wants to run routes.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He's a
trying to
real
pump up his
first one
ball.
in, last one out mentality, lunch pail guy.
Coach's son,
We are the last ones here, so it is what it is.
Bye-bye.
We're gonna go bye-bye in a little bit, okay? We're good. But the thing about Pat and Trav is like they really operate their they're the leaders of that team, and I think the level of respect for them is so high that the entire team is bought in. They follow. They would jump in front of a bus if Patrick told them to. They're consummate professionals. Everything they do is detailed. Everything that they, especially Trav. I mean, I remember watching him kind of talk about certain installs that they were going to do, and how to understand like the different spacing. Just different things that as a veteran guy, really just stood out to me. Like, okay, well, they really care about their team. They really care about their people. And then all the guys around them are like locked in. No matter what they say, they're hanging on every word. They know that they're going to give them the right information, and they listen and they take it and they go put it into action. And Patrick and Travis are not afraid to call somebody out if they're not doing it the right way. They're not afraid to correct them. And they lead by example. I mean, they work hard. They work harder than anybody. Patrick, I think with Bobby Stroop, probably one of the most brilliant, trainers as far as strength and conditioning goes. The most brilliant guy I think
Just
I've
out
ever
the
met.
box stuff, man.
Oh man,
Yeah,
just the way he thinks and the way he understands the body and how it works, the biomechanics of it all. I mean, he's different, man. And the way Patrick is able to contort and move his body is because of the way he trains, is because of how Bobby has trained him. He can do things that most people can't do. And he's going to be able to do it for a really, really, really long time because of that. I mean, his tensile strength is so crazy. His flexibility, it's just the way you build that into a program, and you've got a guy like that that's operating and playing at such a high level. It's incredible, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I got
he's changed him into like Gumby,
Yeah,
basically, which
yeah,
is
100%.
really
Yeah.
impressive.
Bro, you
Like,
see him get tackled, Munoz. You see him
yeah,
like
it's
his ankle just roll up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm good."
but even some of the stuff he does, like on that Netflix doc, like on the quarterbacks, like when you get to see a little behind the scenes, like that's not normal stuff people are doing, and like honestly, it shows because like
Right.
he gets folded up, he gets hit, and he just boop back up. Like people shouldn't be playing on high ankle sprains, and he doesn't miss a beat. Like he's running in touchdowns. Like it's honestly impressive.
And that has everything to do. It has everything to do with what Bobby has done and how Bobby understands the body and has prepped him for it. I mean, preparation is 99% of the battle. If you're prepared for it, like you can do anything. And it also gives him the confidence to get into situations he knows are going to be, a dangerous situation. He's confident because he knows his body's going to uphold it. So, it's just a different level. Like those guys, I don't see anybody beating them. I would have liked to see the Ravens get in. Obviously, Derek's a good friend of mine and a phenomenal human being. And watching what him and Lamar did, and Tylan Wallace is a good friend of mine. So watching the way that they played the game, I thought that they may have ended the Chiefs' run. But I also thought the Lions were going to be in the Super Bowl, which frustrates me because,
That was so frustrating.
yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I'm like, how do y'all come in here and do this? Like, how do you just give it all away at the end? Like, what?
Can we pay a little bit of homage to Jaden Daniels? Like, can we pay? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and honestly, that Commanders team, I call them the Cowboys of the East Coast, because they did take a lot of the Dallas Cowboys. They're just on a different level. You look at every level of their defense. They've got guys on the front, in the middle, on the back end that are straight dogs. Dorrance Armstrong, freak. That entire secondary, freaks. And then you throw in guys like a JD, and it's like, okay, well, this kid's incredible. He's just incredible. He sees the game so well, and for a rookie quarterback to see the game and process everything so fast and really see and understand what he's seeing and where the holes are, where the spots are, and be able to be as accurate as he is. I attribute a lot of that to Cliff Kingsbury, quarterback whisperer. He's
People
he's
forget
got
that
him
he's
prepared.
there. Like people forget that he's there.
Yeah, he's just in the background, but he's there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just because you brought that up, I got to ask you, did you see, and maybe you already know about this, but the whole VR thing that he's
I was
doing?
about to ask that. Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
Well, so I think that company and I we had talked to each other at one point, because I think there's a quarterback program that does that here. And, it's one of those things like, talk about Drew Brees. Drew Brees used to do mental reps. He was the last one out of the facility. He would be on the field by himself with his eyes closed, running through his progressions, running through his reads, running through his entire playbook with nobody else out there, just him by himself. And those mental reps, they add up over time. Like you visualize it, you see it happen, and then you go do it, and it's like, okay, I've already seen this. I already know what to expect. I know what I'm looking at, and it just gives you that extra level of confidence. It's the preparation thing. Like when you do that, you're just so prepared that no matter what you see, you've already seen it, so you understand how to beat it. So phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible what they've done.
So fast.
Yeah, crazy, complete turnaround, wild.
Yeah.
So just for the record, you're giving the Bills 0 chance against the Chiefs,
No.
right?
I'm not
Mafia will come for you. We've learned. They will find you. They will come for you. Be careful.
Yeah.
We care
That
about
Bills Mafia, they don't play around,
you. The
bro.
Mafia will find this clip.
No, I've got a few guys there. Quentin Morris, worked with Keon Coleman last year, phenomenal dude, and Tyrell Shavers is a good friend of mine. I've been throwing for him for a long time. So, definitely not, saying that the Bills are out of it by any means, but I just think those Commanders are just they're in a place. Mike St. Restile, I mean, I helped him. I actually had to throw for him last year, and I complained about it the whole time. I'm like, Mike, I'm not throwing the DBs, man, but ended up happening. Which felt backwards, but whatever. It is what it is. But being a part of his process and watching the way he attacked the game and he prepared, like that dude's a stud. Shout out to Ja'Cory. Ja'Cory One Way is his DB trainer. And he's one of the young upcoming guys that's coming out of the training world, especially on the DB side. He trains a lot of the top DBs and just a phenomenal human being. Again, he's one of those that pays attention to the details and he really teaches the details of the game. And he's just putting out stars, man.
Let me ask you a question before you go, man. Like,
Yep.
because so we have a good friend, right? One of my best buds, Nick Hicks. He trains Tua. He has a bunch of running backs. Like, and it's so cool to like see you guys thriving with all these guys. But like, what separates you guys? Everybody has all the information at the tip of their fingers, right? So like, what really separates you?
I'm not sure that we all have the same information. I think it's relationships, I think that guys kind of flock to guys that they trust. If you look at anybody who trains guys, whether it's on the skill side or the strength and conditioning side, they're typically around somebody that they feel like they can trust and they trust their knowledge and they're willing to listen. The closer you are to your guys, I think, the bond is strong. And I think that's kind of what helps bring out the best in them, right? Like if I've got a guy that I know doesn't really trust me as much, like that bond isn't going to be as strong. But guys like Evan, like we're like brothers. So we get out there, we go to work and he's not afraid to do something wrong. He's not afraid to make a mistake because he knows I'm not going to jump on his ass, but I'm just going to remind him like, hey man, we got to get this right. And we're going to do it till we get it right. And so there's a certain level of like love there that really just kind of puts that relationship in a different place to where, they know that you're invested in them. You've got their best interest at heart. And it's kind of like what we talked about with Patrick, everybody on that team would jump in front of a bus for him, and that kind of love and that kind of respect brings out the best in everybody around him. And Patrick has that natural ability where like, he just inspires people to be their best. That's just kind of who he is. He challenges that. He's a competitor by nature. So, the guys that have that competitive edge and that drive, they tend to bring everybody up with them. Kind of like what I talked about with, our brand and our motto, rising tides raise all ships. Yep. If you're a guy that, really wants to see the best in everybody, then typically you'll get it.
That's kind of how we feel about Bobby here at the podcast.
He makes
So I'll jump in front of 2 buses for Bobby. You know what I mean?
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Me too, Bobby.
You don't have to jump in front of any buses. Just, when I DM you, keep sending us guys,
You got it.
I'll make sure the money comes in.
We always make a joke, Bobby's head recruiter. Because Bobby's gonna go, he's gonna sell himself.
He's number one on the streets recruiting.
I love that, Bobby. You got to know what you're good at. As long as you know what you're good at and you do it to the best of your ability, man, you can take over the world. That's really all it is.
It doesn't happen when you don't shoot your shot. So like, You said
Absolutely right.
relationships, and it's funny, but like I met you on Heaven Stance 2 years ago for no reason, and look at us now. So you never really know where something's gonna turn up. So I try to be respectful to people and treat them the same because you never know what you might need somebody for. Or I'll be in Dallas this summer, maybe watching 707s with Craig. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Or at Parish High School. Come on, stay locked in, my boy.
Yeah.
Open doors and
I
opportunities.
don't want to restrict myself. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be here. You're going everywhere with us this summer.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Hey,
So,
Craig, we appreciate the time, brother. I know we ran a little bit over here, but just one more time, just give the people plug the agency, plug everything, and we'll post your IG and whatnot. We'll put out some content. And
Hold
tag
on,
you.
we need the ranch. We need to talk about the ranch.
Oh
real
yes,
quick.
the ranch. Yes, quickly on the way out.
That could be a good closing right there.
so
The dream keeps on going.
Yeah, the plan, the dream, 2 Live Ranch, man. What I'm trying to do is I want to build a barn dominium on some land, and I want to put a field in the backyard and obviously a weight training facility and everything, so that basically one of the hard things that happens, for trainers is it's hard to find a field. It's hard to find a field when you want it. Some people are kind of gatekeepers, and so the access to the fields is kind of like the big problem that people have. Hold on, Dossie. Hold on. So I have this dream of like, I have my own field in the backyard. It's got lights and everything. And if somebody calls me at like 3 o'clock in the morning and they want to run routes, like I could just roll out of bed, meet them downstairs and go throw routes in the backyard, and I want to host our pre-draft program there so that our guys that are with the agency, we can host all of our training in-house. We can have 7-on-7 tournaments. We can have 1-on-1 events. We can have everything that we need to do right in the backyard. Just something that, I feel like would add value to a lot of people. And I'm not going to be a gatekeeper about it. Like, I want every trainer that I'm connected to, every trainer that I know, every up and coming trainer to come train there, where they have somewhere where they know that a dude understands, like, what you've been through, what it's like. Because, I've been in situations where I had 60 dudes one time pull up to SMU for a 1-on-ones thing, and the door was locked, and they wouldn't come open it for us. So
Oh my God.
telling 60 people, like, my bad, man, we ain't going to do it tonight, is kind of a shitty situation to be in. So
That's wild.
after all that, it was like, all right, well, I got to figure something out. I need my own spot. Hey, can you stop that, please? He is ready to go. He's got his backpack on and everything. Like that.
Oh yeah, it's time.
Yeah. Here, Dusty, say bye to everybody. You got to say 2 Live. We're here before we can go. If you don't say it, no, say it. Hold on. Come
If
on.
you don't say it, you don't eat dinner tonight. Come on.
Right. Tell them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You heard him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Craig,
man,
man, we really appreciate you coming on tonight, man. I know you're a busy man and you got so much going on right now with the agency and workouts and 7-on-7s. And you took a little bit of time tonight to give us a little insight on your world. And honestly, we really appreciate it, brother.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity. It's a blessing. It's an honor to be here with you guys. And anytime you guys want me to hop on, man, I'd love to make some time for you. And obviously, I'd love to get down to Miami and come spend some time with you down there. Joe, you got to take me to the best spots to eat because I love to eat.
100%.
Perfect, man.
Hit us up. We appreciate you, man. We'll be watching and rooting on for you and all your guys, bro. Really
Hey, and let's start
appreciate
the
it.
Evan.
appreciate
Let's start the
y'all.
Evan Stewart train, man. Let's bring him on. Let's get the little hype going.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we need to get Kevin on here too. We can get the Heisman train rolling.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
do
let's
it,
go.
man. Let's get it rolling, bro.
Yeah.
Kevin,
Let's go.
Keelan Russell.
Yeah, we can get Key on here too. Absolutely.
Heck yeah,
Hey,
man.
what facility
go.
you at right now?
I'm at Carroll Senior High School. Yeah, about to
Just
shut
so
it
everybody
down.
understands how high school works in Texas.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
high
let
school
me
facility.
let me show you. This is
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was at the Hard Rock.
I'm like, where the hell are you? Are you at the Dolphins?
Dude, that's
practice
wild.
facility? Like,
welcome to Texas, baby.
that's beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
Amazing.
God bless, man.
God
Hey,
bless you
best of
too.
luck.
Have a great rest of your night, fellas. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Appreciate you, Craig. We'll be in
Have a
touch,
good night,
buddy.
man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for all
Sounds
the
good.
support.
Appreciate y'all.
Later.
Bro, that facility.
Dude, I thought he was like I don't know where I thought he was, but like
I
as
was
a
either
high school, that's
SMU or a high
insane.
school. I was like, he's
Yeah, I
somewhere.
thought he was in like D1, one of those D1 like new like franchise workout centers. Yeah,
That's
that
wild.
booster money in Texas is different, dog.
I was gonna say it. I was gonna say it at one point. It was like he kept bringing up another quarterback, and I was like, Texas is really just got world class problems of finding quarterback. Dude, it's just so many quarterbacks come out of Texas.
I mean, what a guy though, man. He's worked with some top notch athletes, like big names. So humble, just grinding away. Just goes to show like the grind doesn't ever stop. You know.
Yeah, and Craig's
that
a
was
down to
awesome.
earth dude. He's so cool, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. Everybody,
Bobby's been trying to get this guy in the pod for like 3 months, bro.
guys,
Well, everybody,
we'll plug his IG and his Twitter, so you guys give him a follow. Just show some support.
give us some questions. We got about seven more minutes here, real quick. Y'all got a few questions. We'll chop it up real quick. But yeah, what the hell was I about to say? Oh yeah, we all have like guys we want to get on that's not like the typical guy. And Craig's one of mine. Like I said, I've been talking to him for a couple years, and y'all got to see it tonight. He's just super cool dude. Knows so many people. Just truly built it from the ground up, and really cares about the players. And it's crazy. A lot of the similarities in his personality reminds me of Nick. The way they don't.
It's like
It
that.
doesn't
That
matter what their
personality
person.
The same cloth.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what their client does. It's like, yeah, but that's my client. Like, dude, the quarterback was holding him back, dude. The quarterback.
he was saying it without trying to say it, but he was like, Dylan Gabriel can't throw it to him, bro.
I said it for him. He was like, hey, chill. I was gonna say, damn left-handed Samoans.
By the way, yes,
Oof.
we are missing Ghost today. He had some personal stuff he had to deal with, so shout out to Ghost. He's dealing with some family stuff.
Bobby, do we upgrade our comments? What's the deal with that?
I think they upgraded. I think
Oh.
it
Well,
looks
look at
cool,
us.
man. I like it.
Yeah, it does look good. It doesn't like cut off the person. Look at that. That's
Yeah,
all.
no, I loved it.
I guess not too many people have questions. Who you guys got this weekend?
So,
Last I saw, I think it was Philly -6 and Chiefs -2.
what I want, I would
No,
love to
that's
see.
not, that's not
I would
what I
love to see Chiefs Commanders.
asked.
I would love to see Chiefs Commanders, but I think we're gonna get a little bit of a rerun of the Chiefs Eagles, man.
I was gonna say you're not gonna bet against Mahomes, are you?
No.
What was it, T. Lee? What channel? Also, here y'all go. Dustin had the original. He said, "Do you want spaghetti fingers or the
Spaghetti for hair, syrup for sweat would be terrible.
Yeah, right, bro. I'll be
What did
licking my
Dustin
sweat like
say?
a motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right? I
Dude, imagine you sit down and you're sweaty, you just like get stuck to your car seat. Like, no.
You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna
This
put
is
it on
true.
the line.
Oh,
I'm
that would
going
be a
on the line,
nightmare.
brother. KC commies.
I saw something
I would love that.
that the Eagles are like undefeated with this ref that they got this weekend. Like they cover the spread, like 6-0 or something like that, with covering the spread and winning with this referee they got. It depends. Maybe if Hurts is not 100%, but it'll be tough. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully the weather's not too bad.
Oh, spaghetti fingers or little smoky toes.
Oh, little
Yeah, that's
smoky toes.
it.
Who cares about that? That's easy.
Honestly, probably little smoky toes because I feel like I'll be quicker on my feet.
Yeah, but don't kick a fucking coffee table.
I'm not. Hey, I have no plans on kicking a coffee table, nor do I kick anything.
Wow, Janky wants prediction for next year. Joe will give you 16-1.
Oh no! All right, so
It's
Joe's
so
gonna
early.
come back.
Like we don't even. I mean, how are we
Joe's
supposed
gonna
to
come
do
back
that?
to reality. This is the way before draft, way before free agency prediction.
9-8.
I'm gonna say 10-7.
8-9.
Hey,
I was being
but,
optimistic.
don't let us make a splashy move this all season. Even if they completely ignore all the real holes, don't let us add a receiver. Joe would be right back to 16-1.
Smoke and mirrors.
Who's guarding him?
Syrup sweat or permanent Cheeto dust fingers?
Oh,
Cheeto
Cheeto
dust fingers. The
Oh,
syrup,
Cheeto
hit
dust
me with the
fingers. You don't
syrup,
realize how
the
elite
syrup
that is.
sweat is crazy. Dude, we sweat every second down here, bro. Can you just syrup
Yeah,
all
give
over?
me Cheeto fingers all day.
Like, that's crazy. Yeah, we just I don't know.
The Saints are only there are only
they might
But
get a
from what
little
Darlington
desperate.
said, it seems like he wants to be here.
Yeah, and it's like a kind of like an unwritten like understanding, like for coordinators when they take a new job, like that they're gonna give that team like 2 years. But he wasn't even a DC like really before here, so he probably needs another year of marination either way to like really hit the cycle good well. But maybe, hopefully he stays because we wouldn't get anything for him if he left. So
By the way, since everybody wants to rattle off lifestyle questions, my lifestyle question this week is
real
simple.
quick. Yeah, this is fitting.
Super simple. What is the most elite snow day activity? Now, Eric and I We're from Florida. But say you're in Colorado, you wake up and it's snowing. All right. Let's
Say
just
you're in South Louisiana and you get 10 inches.
Or if
I
or
you're
you
do.
in
get
North
that,
Florida this week
or
today,
what
and it's
Unreal.
your
dumping
wife would be
snow.
very happy.
I don't know. What do you guys do on a snow day? What do you guys do, Bobby?
I would say the most elite. All right. So for me, the most
Hold on,
elite thing
real
is
quick.
that
This is maybe coincidence, but Jonnu Smith was at
Yeah, he
Apocalypse
was.
Barbecue today. So what the hell is really going on?
It's
I haven't
far.
been there
That place
yet.
is far as fuck from where Joe and I live, but I've heard it's elite.
It looked good. But go ahead, my
I've heard
bad.
it's elite.
all right. So the most elite snow day activity is gotta be grabbing that miscellaneous thing that can slide on the snow, finding the tallest hill you could find,
just
and just
hitting it.
fucking ripping.
And just hitting
Bro,
it.
Like there's nothing better than that.
I'm glad you said that because yesterday my old lady's dad lives like catty corner behind us. He comes over in his Tundra. He's like, I got a rope. Y'all want me to pull you behind the truck? We're like, fuck yeah.
Oh
And
my
we're
god.
We're like, dude, we have a boogie board. The boogie board rips the shreds like immediately. So like, we're like, what are we gonna do now? He goes, no problem. Hold on, let's circle back to my house. He gets out the truck. He rips the lid off the recycling trash can. Said, here, sit on that to my wife. And dude, it worked like a charm.
What was it?
The lid to the recycling trash
Oh,
can.
the literal lid.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
Like
elite.
snapped it off like I'll tell them it broke, but they broke it. They'll replace
But
it.
I will say, like, bougie, the most amazing snow day activity, it's like snowboarding to me. Like, bro, like, I know I'm not from a snowboarding activity place, but every time I go out and I go snowboarding, it's like the greatest sport ever.
Karen's kind of owned to something because I was gonna say, maybe it's because I'm 33 now, but like, dude, cup of coffee, go hit the bay window, just watching the snowfall. You got like a snow themed movie on. Like, what movie did we watch? I don't know, but it was perfect for the day. It was like a good movie, hot drink in your hand, and the window like wide open, just snow falling. Incredible vibes.
Or just a common snow angel. Very underrated.
yeah, but then you're wet.
Very
for a while.
underrated. No,
Snow's cool for
Eric,
like 5
people who
minutes.
are from the snow areas have snow clothes, bro.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to New York
I'm
next
with
week and
Eric.
I'm cooked.
When
I'm
we're
going to New York- going to New York
Floridians who
next
go
week
to
and I am cooked.
Floridians who go to cold other places, we like just layer up with sweaters and like
That's all I
different
got.
sweat. Yeah, that's it. Like Carhartt, we don't own Carhartt. Like, what is that?
I have, I'm toast.
North Face, never heard of it.
I will
Insane.
agree with Eric somewhat. Eric, if you need to hop off, bud, you can hop off real quick.
Yeah, boys. I'm gonna hop. Appreciate everybody. Love y'all. We'll see
Later,
y'all next
brother.
week at our regularly scheduled time.
See you, Eric. What is this? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's fun,
Try to
too.
blow that bitch up.
So funny story, Bob. So as you know, I went to college up in Wisconsin for a year, and I
Yep.
played football. And my parents, thank God, shipped my. I had a 2000 Grand Prix back in the day, right? That was my first car,
Nice.
and they shipped it up, and I didn't know that you needed snow tires or chains on your. Like, I had no idea about any of that, right?
Yeah.
So I was like the cool freshman with the car. So first snow day, we're like, let's go to, like, everybody, like, remember when we were in college, like going to McDonald's was a whole activity, right? Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
especially late at night. So it was like midnight. All the boys were playing. I think we were playing NCAA at the time. And they're like, yo, let's go get some fucking McDonald's. And he's like, yo, you got a whip. I'm like, bro, I don't think I should drive. I don't know. Next thing you know, first time driving in the snow, like for real, your boyfriend ended up in a ditch. Ended
real
up in the
quick.
ditch, called the tow company, pulled my ass out, make my parents pay the fucking fees. Like,
Hey, speaking of parents, real quick. Hey, Bob Sr. in the house, baby.
oh, is he? Joe Robbie Sr. hasn't been here in a while. He's been falling
Dude.
off.
Your dad, he came out the gate strong, and then he was like, I'm good.
Kind of like Ghost.
Yeah. Ghost was down when we had Tyreek coming on every week.
Ghost is like, guys, I got too much going on in my life. Like, not right now.
Once we had to start working 9 to 5 on this bitch, he was like, dude, I'm out of here.
There he is. There's the GOAT. That's the real Bobby Shouse right there.
That's the real one. Yeah, dude, it's been crazy down here, though, because, like, South Louisiana, I'm proud of us, though, because I was a little worried because it doesn't snow here. And Texas went off the grid completely. Remember when I had that winter storm like 2 years ago? And Texas
Hold
literally.
on. I got to cut you off. T. Lee, I promise, brother, I'm going to hit you up tomorrow. You ain't bitched about a hat yet. And
T.
Bobby,
Lee,
literally this week, Bobby goes, man, did you ever fucking hit up T. Lee? And I've been so fucking busy. He's like, come on, man, you got to hit him up. He wants to eat. I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry.
dude, I literally said, do you not see his messages every show? He's like a small little hint. He's like, dude, I had no clue what that was about. And I said, dude, come on. But Texas went off the grid 2 years ago when there was a snowstorm. They have a bunch of solar panels and stuff, and it just wasn't built for it. So, like, no trucking could come through. It, like, messed up the whole country, really, because Texas was shut down. And so I was a little worried about how things would go, but so far, so good. And the worst part's over. I never lost water. My neighbor lost water. I had to fill up her buckets right before the show. I was telling you about that.
Yep.
So we've been good, though. I mean, heat's been working, chilling, drinking coffee, playing with the kids, and the water hasn't went out yet. So, hey, all
and
good.
it was your kid's first snow day ever.
Yep, my kid's first time seeing snow, real snow.
Man, that dad, like, how'd that feel as a dad, bro?
Oh, dude, it was electric. Cause like, I feel like, yeah, like I was saying, like it was their first time. So they thought it only existed on TV and stuff. So, it was awesome. But my son, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed in him. I told him, I was like, dude, go back inside. You're not built for this. He would be hyped every time. We did this 3 different times. And finally I said, enough. He'd get excited. He put his Spider-Man wet rain boots on. He put all the clothes on. He'd walk outside. The first time snow went down his boot, or he'd grab snow. Oh, daddy, pick me up. I was like, no, no. I'm going to put you Spider-Man on the couch. You can watch us in the window. Yeah, I'm not doing this all day. And yeah, my 2-year-old, 3-month-old in another 2 months, or 3-year-old. Yeah, he wasn't cut for
3
it.
months. That's a big ass 3-month-old.
Yeah, no. I had to give him a heart to heart. I had to let him know, you're not cut out for this, bud. Go sit on the couch. Maybe next year or 10 years from now when we.
Hey, Daddy will build a little bonfire for you later. Don't worry.
Dude, that's crazy. That snow we got in Louisiana, I think, is the biggest snow ever in Louisiana history.
Wow.
I know it's at least second biggest because the second one was only like 4.5 inches. And this one was like 10, 12 inches.
That's
history.
crazy. Yeah,
that's history,
crazy.
Man.
Brody, buddy, you in the snow.
Y'all don't know that. So when we went to Tennessee for Christmas, my son, I don't know where he got it from, but dude, he was beating the shit out of my dad the last night we were there. And he would go, he didn't say Brody, he said booty body, and just dropped the elbow on my dad. And he did it like 500 times straight the last night. We don't know where it came from, where he got that from, but he just kept going, booty body. And he just dropped the elbow on my dad, like flip off the bed, whatever. He didn't care.
By the way, I feel like this is a good time to let the people know that you're about to go offshore. It's a good time. I know it's a sour subject. It's a sour subject.
Yeah, your boy, the run is over. We had fun, but it looks like I'm going to be headed back offshore. It was supposed to be the end of this week, but the snow and stuff, I'm not sure if that messes up everything. So they probably haven't been doing anything offshore either. So the schedule probably shifted a little bit, but this is probably going to be, I'll see what I can do once I get offshore, but more than likely I'll be off the grid as far as podcast goes. But yeah, your boy's going offshore. Man, it's really hitting me hard. I'm not going to lie.
Bro, Bobby calls me, just so you guys know. Bobby calls me daily. And it's usually either on his way to work or coming home from work, right? And he'll call me, and every day this week he's been like, man, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, man? Like, I'll probably be out for at least 4 weeks. And I said, bro, don't worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got Doug Lee to come on. We got Nick Hicks to come on. We got some good guys to come on in your steadfast.
As y'all know, no one ever misses these shows, so I shouldn't be worried at all.
Yeah, right. I miss more shows than anybody.
This is the guy trying to talk me off a cliff.
Dana wants to know if you're an oil rigger.
I'm not an oil rigger, but I work on the rigs. I'm in the production side, so it's not quite the same. I guess to be honest, it's the bougie side. So all the hard work is pretty much done. Somebody just has to go out there and make some money, so they call me. But yeah, I work offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. Sometimes we go to different countries and stuff, but most of the work is in the Gulf of Mexico. Fly out by helicopter, and it was slow kind of the last half of the year because of the election and whatnot. The election always messes up the oil field if you know anything about the oil field, but that's over, and they're ready to get back to work. So I really did get lucky. It was a hell of a run.
Yeah, you haven't been offshore for a minute
Since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
And by the way, I know that Jank D Jim had a issue with our last panel of guests. By the way,
this is cringe.
Listen, brother, we're trying this off season. Our goal is to really get outside the box, grow our following, and get some other guests that just aren't only Dolphin related. You know, Craig was a great one. We have a couple of others coming up. I'll give a little tidbit. We have an edge rushing specialist coming on. That's going to be cool. He's worked with a bunch of top names. I'm not going to say the name yet. Let's keep the surprise a little bit. But we got some really cool shit in the future, and it sucks because now I want to wait for Bobby to get back, but might have to pull the trigger while you're gone to make you a little bit fucking jealous.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. Like I said, I was worried that the show would stop when I left, and hey, I'm proud. I'm proud to know that you're filling the books up still, and it's a great guest. He ain't gonna drop a name on you, but like, it's probably the number one edge rushing coach in the NFL. He's actually a partnership. He actually works for the NFL. So, yeah, and his list of clients is like insane, and a few of them play for the Dolphins. So there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about. Some good intel on the Dolphin guys and some of the best around the league. He really is the man.
I can't wait. So for everybody who doesn't know, he's also connected to Nick Hicks, and we used to work out every day at lunchtime, and I can't wait to tell the story about this guy. This guy is just a beast, bro. Like 315, just throw it up easy. Like just easy, bro. Like just even being out of football, just a guy being that powerful still is crazy to me.
Yeah. Also,
because you always like, as a man, in the back of your, like, I could lift 225 still. Like always in the back of your head, no matter what you're thinking to yourself, I can bench 225 until you throw that bitch up and you haven't lifted in 2 years. But then you see a dude just go up there and he's warming up with 225 and he's just a trainer. He don't really lift like that no more. He's just coming kind of the fuck around. And you're like, man, people are just built different, bro.
look, Seth, the Permian don't shut down. So for the people that don't know, West Texas land oil field, if all else fails, go to West Texas, you'll find a job. They do not stop out there. That's the wild, wild West. That's where Landman is filmed, or it's filmed in Fort Worth, but they're portraying it as Midland. Dude, yeah, the Permian never stops. Like when the oil field comes to an absolute crash and collapses here in Louisiana, you have to go to West Texas and work on land. It's not the same. It sucks. I broke out in West Texas, so now I feel very fortunate because I've seen the bottom I've seen the bottom of the bottom first. Another thing, they don't tell you that the desert is fucking freezing at night. Dude, the winters in West Texas are as bad as anywhere.
The wind is probably ridiculous.
Oh yeah, there's nothing to block it. It just comes right in.
I did this podcast outside, and I've been shivering the entire time. It's like 60 degrees out.
Dude, funny enough, my boys back home are always like, dude, like this was like last presidency. He was like, Trump's killing it. The gas prices are dropping. And I was like, hey, bitches, we need it to drop, but get to a decent level. Like it just can't drop. Like we can't go $30, $40 a barrel. We need a little, like, so it's weird how that works, but hey, oil does pay my bills and I rely on the price of a barrel to keep us busy. So it's weird how everybody's perspective on life is a little different.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, I think that's a nice show, brother. Probably might be on next week.
I might be. I'll tell you what, if I find out I'm leaving Tuesday, we're doing a show Monday night. I don't care
100%,
what guest I have to get on. And they can do another show Tuesday.
Yeah.
But if I find out I got any weekday next week, I'm forcing my hand.
We're getting on.
This show is ran by big old and big class. All right. That was a good one. We're back. Like Joe said, for sure. That's what, February 4th?
Yeah, February 4th.
February 4th is the edge rushing coach specialist. So that'll be a good one. Next week, I guess, is what we got to figure out. We'll see if I'm going or not. We'll have announcements on Twitter. I need to do better about putting updates on the community tab on YouTube because I know some of y'all you're not on Twitter, so I'll try to do better at that. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming. As you heard too, like Craig, I mean, he's got a ton of people he can send our way. I didn't know that he was that close to Taj Washington. Now I feel like that's an obvious connection.
Got to get Taj on here.
Because we have no idea about him. He got drafted and literally got redshirted immediately.
Which felt like on purpose. Like
they're strategic about it.
Yeah.
That's the one killing, and that's the one killing this establishment. Funny enough. Oh Lord! All right, if we don't say bye, we'll never get off here. So
yeah, let's get out of here, brother.
Appreciate y'all for all the support.
Yeehaw, motherfucker!
It's the off season, so it's our in season. We are going to have awesome guests. Trying to give the players a little time to wind down from the season. I don't want to bother anybody, but we talked about it probably March, maybe before, depending on when I get back. But March for sure, we're going to try to pick up having players routinely on the show again.
Hell yeah, brother.
Good to see you, Karen.
Man. Hey, Eric's back. Very nice to see Eric back.
Barely. We barely got him. All right. See y'all.
Later, brother.